He's as I'm MTT reg and new to spins, is there any strategy difference between 15 and 25 BB when we play 13, 14, 15 BB flash? Yes, lots of strategy difference. Too much to talk about, really. Certain hands are favourable to you have lots more just open shoving, obviously, as you get shallower. But there's also differences in terms of when you're playing recreationals, some of the marginal spots, you can be a bit more okay taking them in ultras because maybe the last game demonstrated, you just get a lot more situations to play in reg speeds. You don't have to push it that far, but yeah. Bobby says, asking for a friend, if you had a 6-figure bankroll, do you think it's smart to keep it on a site full tilt and COVID? My friend is worried. I think if depends on, yeah, I mean, I would definitely not. There are pros and cons, of course, but unless you're planning to use that 6-figure bankroll for poker, I don't think there's much benefit in keeping it on site. Like, even just in terms of you don't earn interest, right? Just put it in a easy access bank account and you at least get 2%, and you got 100k, it's still $2,000 a year, right? So yeah, I would say it's a non-zero chance. Like, I think poker sites are pretty safe, but it is non-zero that it goes bankrupt or something, right? And it doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, bank is also non-zero, right? But I think historically, at least, banks have probably outperformed. Like, given the choice, you'd say it's probably a bit smarter, right? I don't think your friend should be too worried, but I would suggest if for some reason you don't want to keep your money in, you want to keep it out of the bank account, you could keep it across more sites. That's an option as well. I know, like, for example, when Full Tilt happened, there were guys who had their entire bankroll on Full Tilt, and they therefore lost their entire bankroll. And there's some guys who split it 50-50 with stars or had it cross party in the threes, and then, you know, you lose the third. It's obviously better. Although, of course, you're also increasing your risk of losing one of them, I suppose. It's whatever, right? So it's really tough to say. But yeah, we'll go for a C-bet here. Sound is from Ukraine. Yeah, that's Russia. Slurpee says, hi Thomas from Texas. Thank you for always being my poker inspiration. Well, that's nice, Slurpee. We see bet, and now we have pretty terrible blockers in terms of trying to target the hands we want to fold. So checking, and to be honest, just gonna fold. Pretty quick half pot bet here, which is interesting. We are kind of bluff catching here, but it sucks a little bit. But we do have, yeah. I mean, I don't have it in me to fold here. Okay, nice. Glad that Sand has a bluff then. Credit to Sand. I would have overfolded it probably compared to population, compared to equilibrium. We're limp trapping Jack 9 suited, fairly standard. Decent equity if we can hit. If we can hit. If we can hit. Which we cannot. Bobby says, I'll pass it along to my friend Robbie. He's a big fan and doesn't use stars caption. Oh, it's that Robbie, is it? Is that the Robbie you were trying to... Because there was one Robbie who you said I shouldn't tell about your stars caption, Bobby. Was that the Robbie? Oh, no, I wasn't supposed to say that. Right, I might try a bluff here. Why not? I think it's a pretty nice spot to just kind of go for it, man. We got some outs. We got some blockers. We hit this board a lot from the small blind flatten range. It's a little bit overdoing it, but I like to give it a go. And successfully got my folds, and now I don't know what to do. King 10 is there, Ace Jack is there, Ace 10 is there, Ace King is there, and both in buttons range. Jack 7, 10, 9. I don't know if we can get value, honestly. I'm checking because I feel like we just can rep. I don't think it makes sense to bet all in. I think it's too thin. I don't think it makes to bet block because just whatever. Can we check call against the button? King 10 full frequency, 10 9 full frequency. Maybe not though. Ace King full frequency, maybe not though. Ace Jack full frequency, definitely. Sure. Baby Feathers, I think, out of here. Damn. Yeah, really tough one. It's really tough. I think if King 10 is there, we have to assume 10 9 is there. And if King 10 and 10 9 is there, that's a great call, right? Because 10 9's always bluffing. 10 on suited, 10 on off. The worry is 10 9 might bet flop, but I don't think he would bet flop with 10 9, and then we're fine. It could be a terrible call, of course, as well. I was probably leaning fold, and I didn't want to get bluffed on stream. Oh, well. I will flop into that hand. If 10-9 is in that range, my assumption is it's a good call. But it might not be, also, we have to remember, though, big blind's not dead. Big blind could definitely wake up with 2 pair and have check to the button as well, maybe. It's really interesting. We'll probably flop Zilla that hand and do some analysis after, because I think that'll be a really interesting hand to really have a look for. Alright, we get check raised here from Zukov. We have a back to flush, we have a back to straight, we have a king high, we have a pretty nice hand. And now we have a pretty shitty hand. Interesting decision to bet here with this sizing. Like, he's repping a 6, really. We could jam here. How can he call? I'm going to take it. It's a really interesting spot. Maybe I'm an idiot. Oh, wow, he has an ace. Wow, okay. Fair play, Zukov. Well played. I did not think you would have too many ace-X in your ranges there. I look like an idiot. DJ says, nice. Ace club, 3 clubs. I just give up. I would have just folded River, he says. I think that would have been a good decision, yeah. I says, with the Jack 9 suited, heads up. Foil MVP, G9 is limp caller jam, but if this player doesn't isolate enough, is the correct exploit just open jam or limp fold? Open jam. It's way too strong to limp fold. Like, way too plus EV to limp fold, so... I mean, if the guy only ISO shoves aces or something, maybe, but just open jam and take your free money if the guy doesn't ISO enough. So my guess is Zukov is playing... given the pace of his play, I would imagine he's playing quite a few tables, and is probably quite theoretically focused. I would imagine, as we saw, balanced ranges is something to obviously pay attention to. 8-6 off. Feels a bit wide. Given we played like we went crazy against his click before, I actually quite like betting here, because I think he's very disincentivized to actually check raise with a bluff there. Like, he saw us take a wild... If I was him, I would not want to bluff against the guy who floated with king high and then shoved over a barrel. That makes sense. We'll call 8s, of course. Nice. GG. Picking up a straight draw. Interesting spot. Whether we want to actually try a little donk here. I'm actually going to take it. I think there's some nice opportunities on some ace-X rivers, especially. Spades are a little awkward. I'll be honest. I don't think we want to be going too crazy with spades. Some opportunities to bluff, but also we have a hand which actually can just basically be winning, right? You could have king queen, you could have king jack, you have queen jack, you have jack 9 or anything. Queen 9, king 9. You could have ace 9 himself with ace of spades. Ace 9 without spade. Wow. Alexander did not think I did not think that would call, to be honest. Just a bare gut shot. Okay. Okay, we get a complete from Alexander. Interesting kind of board. I would guess Alexander isn't super wide and more middling. Pretty easy, I think, of the ace-X to just ice a jam and strong hand. So this is probably a board that hits him a decent chunk. I'm going to check this. Pick up a straight draw. He goes for a half pot bet. I think we can definitely call and represent some spades. The 1.5 could definitely be a mixture of some jack-X, some 9-X. I don't know if 10-X goes this sizing, but it might. Certainly a hand like jack 10 with a jack of spades might. I think flushes typically go bigger as well. Sets up a bit of... probably. So we'll go for it. We hit a straight. That could be good. My assumption was I think flushes got a bit bigger. I think a hand like queen 9 with the queen of spades or queen jack with the jack of spades might go this sizing. Probably bluffs river. Don't see any need at all. It sounds bad, weird, but just no raising. Like, I might be wrong with that flush assumption. I just don't think he calls worse if we jam here. I really don't. So that's just cool. Okay. I don't think he might have called that hand. I didn't think he had too much to pair, to be honest. So I misread the turn because I felt like it would just go bigger on such a dynamic board, which I would have done. But I was wrong, so okay. Regardless, says, when you donked into button from the big blind on 10-6-5, 7, can button be special with the fact that you on the big blind shouldn't have the 12 combos off 8-4 off and maybe not the 12 combos of 4-3 off? Yes, but the button doesn't either. So the button should be, can be a little suspicious, but they should also be pretty aware of the, I mean, they can also be aware of the fact that, like, we don't have any air in our range typically, right? So we have at best at worst a straight draw. We actually kind of one of the worst hands we have actually. Whereas the button kind of just see bet that board with whatever Queen Jack or something. So donkey is definitely viable there. There's lots of pros and cons, and it's like if you want to talk, it's like range versus range is one thing, and then range versus hand, and hand versus range, and hand versus hand, and all this sort of stuff. But yeah. Wow, we get clicked in a weird spot. I mean, full frequency of 6-4, 6-9, 9-4, but we also have full frequency of like flush draws, straight draws, etc., etc. Just gonna jam. Bit worried about the sizing we see here. Yeah, 9-4. I was worried, but such a impossible to really get away hand, you know. It's an interesting decision to check raise there. I guess we have fantastic bluff ability if you're going to take check raise your top and bottom. Barat, Greg, are you memeing about 100 to 10k? We're getting there. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Yeah, we'll call this. Nice. Good for us. Maybe. Nope. Bad for us. GG.